Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. What we're gonna look at today is Swiveling 101, just beginner swiveling movement to generate power coming straight down the central line. Okay, in Wing Chun, we're always really close to our opponent and we don't have time or the ability, and basically it's not Wing Chun, to reach back and hit. We wanna generate power up close and in short distance. That's where swiveling comes in. What we're also going to look at today is twisting. What's the difference between swiveling and twisting? Let's get right into it. All right, guys, so today we're going over swiveling. And for those of you that know how to swivel, great, keep practicing. But swiveling is one of those things that we learn from the very beginning, and it's kind of hard for some people to adjust their balance. So if you haven't done this before, just kind of sit down, pay attention, watch the lesson, and then practice it, okay? Because there's a lot involved to it, and once you get it down, it's really easy. But at first, don't get discouraged, just keep practicing. So what we need to think about swiveling is we're gonna keep our feet flat on the floor, and we're gonna keep our weight more towards our heels. So we're not going to be sweeping on our toes like this. We're not gonna be picking up our toes like this. We're gonna keep our feet flat on the floor, and like I've mentioned in my other videos, we're gonna sweep the feet across the floor. How do we do this? Well, if I go up on my toe or up on my heels and move like this, my weight is shifting back, then it's coming down, then it's shifting back, then it's coming down. If I swivel on my toes, my weight is coming forward, then down, forward, then down. So what I wanna do is I wanna sink down. I want to have my weight more towards the back of my feet, and I want to think swivel with my belly. All right, we're not going to swivel with the feet. We're not going to twist our bodies and move. We're just going to turn our belly. And when we do this, we want our toes to be facing in the direction of our intention. So a really good way to do this is take your hands, put them so they line up on your center line. Hold them out so it creates a triangle. What we're going to do is we're going to swivel back and forth. I like to say go from, say, 10:30 to 1:30, okay? This being 12 o'clock. So we're going to swivel, 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 swivel. And what this does is this keeps our shoulders lined up, our hips lined up as we're swiveling. Just like that, guys. Why do we swivel? Well, we swivel because we need to get enough energy behind our punches or our bong saos or whatever in really close distance. Okay, in Wing Chun, we are at a distance or at a range where I can touch you with both hands. So for me to throw a center line punch, if I'm just punching straight out, there's always not a lot of power behind it. So what we want to do is we want to practice swiveling and punching straight out. Now when we swivel, I'm not punching across my body. Just like when we practice anything and we punch, say we do our Lin Wah Kyun, our chain punching. We go out, 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 out. If I swivel, I'm still going out, 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 out. Just like that. The swiveling is like a whip. It whips my hand forward, just like that. So it creates power in that whip. That's why we have to stay loose, guys. If we don't stay loose, if we stay real rigid, this doesn't do a whole lot of good for us, okay? So when we're doing any of these exercises, whether we're doing Tanda, right? Tanda, whether we're doing Bong Sao, when we add a swivel, nothing changes. It still goes straight out. However, when I swivel and bong, everything is still straight out from my body. If I stop swiveling, this changes, doesn't change at all. I go bong, 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 bong. I go punch, 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 punch. Always swiveling, feet in the direction of intention, always going out, never going across. When I finish, I should be straight out from my center line. When I finish, straight out from my center line. All right, go ahead and practice that. When we're swiveling, guys, we're moving both our hips and our waist, okay? And sometimes in Wing Chun, people say that we're kind of robotic. We always move like a robot, real stiff. Well, not necessarily true, okay? When we're swiveling, we want to be able to change angle. And a lot of times that's because we're moving and swiveling and changing angle, okay? We're moving forward, we're moving back, we're stepping to the side, and we're swiveling to get that power out there. But what happens when we're not throwing a punch? What happens when we're in, say, a clinch, or I just want to move somebody? That's where twisting comes in. And the difference is, let's take the analogy of wringing out a wet paper or a wet rag, okay? When I swivel, the whole thing moves. When I twist, you see the difference there? When I twist, you're counter moving. So my waist moves, but my hips don't move. And the reason why I do this is because if I am grabbing somebody and I need to move them, I need to be able to bite into the floor. And I need my knees to be open to do that. And if I swivel, look what happens to my knee. Okay, I don't have anything on this side of my body to actually give me leverage. So what I want to do is I want to twist using my waist, but keeping my hips steady. We practice this in Chum Q, okay? And I'll go over another video another time showing that. But we need to articulate the difference between swiveling and twisting, okay? A really good twisting exercise looks like this. We put our hands up, and what we're going to do is we're going to let our hands swing, and we're going to look in the direction that our forward hand points. And what we're going to do is we're going to twist our waist, but not our hips. We're going to swing it back up so that both hips and waist are forward, and then we're going to twist, twisting the waist, not the hips. So it looks like this. And if you can, while you're doing this, think about counter twisting. Think about my waist moves one way, my hips move the other direction, right? So I counter twist. A lot of times we'll put a rod on our back, we'll practice this exercise where we hold our hips still, but we just move the waist, okay? What that's gonna do, like I said previously, is when you are close to somebody and you're trying to get leverage to, say, move them, this is going to give you a lot more power, a lot more base, a lot more grounding than trying to swivel and move somebody. So we swivel to hit, we swivel to redirect, but we want to uproot somebody, we want to move their structure, that's when we twist, all right? So go ahead and practice that. So in my fundamental footwork video, you saw me doing the four-stepping, you saw me doing the triangle stepping, okay? And if you watched that, you could see me swiveling, okay? When I'm doing my triangle stepping, I'm swiveling, turning my hips and my waist because I am throwing energy out. I'm trying to hit somebody or I'm trying to redirect something, okay? So when you're practicing, you can practice any of these movements with those foot exercises, or you can just swivel. I would recommend taking just, 20 minutes a day and just practice swiveling. Add your hand movements in there. If you want, you can quan with a swivel, right? You can cow sow with a swivel. You can punch with a swivel. You can bong sow with a swivel. You can tanda with a swivel. You can do all these exercises with a swivel as long as you can remember that energy only goes out. It doesn't cross in front of your body. If you cross your center line, the central line between you and your opponent, you're going to get pinched. You go up against any guy that has even a slight amount of Wing Chun knowledge, they're going to pinch you, okay? Here, you can keep control of the line. Here, you cannot. So remember, even though we're swiveling, we're still punching straight out. We're still thinking about the center line theory, okay? We're still staying on that central line, the line between your center line and your opponent's center line, all right? So practice your swiveling. Like I said earlier in the video, if you have never done this before, put your hands together and swivel. And learn to keep those shoulders level. Okay, we don't want swiveling to mean pulling the shoulder back because inevitably you're going to cross your body. All right? I hope this helped you. I hope this improves your Wing Chun. Until next time, guys, thank you.